Hi, I'm Matt. This is a lesson on how to take the cover or dead front off of an electrical panel and inspect the inside during a home inspection. So the first thing you want to do is make sure the box is not electrified or energized, because if there's a loose hot wire inside there and it's touching the panel box and it's metal, it could electrocute you. I've never seen that. I've been doing this for 24 years. I've done thousands of inspections, but it is possible. So touch it with the back of your hand and make sure it's not electrified. This is a 6-screw cover or dead front. We always called it the cover here in the Detroit area. In fact, I was at Lowe's today and was looking at new ones, and they call it the cover right on the box, but I know some places they call it the dead front. And I used to be an apprentice electrician, and I installed this panel. Right, cameraman? You were here helping me, right?
Yep.
So I installed this panel. This is a Siemens. I like the Siemens because it has the copper bus down the center. Once we get inside here, we can see that this panel is grounded. There's a ground screw right here. And by the way, a home inspector's hand should never break this plane. Your hand should never go inside that panel. You do not need to put your hand inside of there. Like I said, I installed this panel, so I am going to put my hand inside here just for demonstration purposes for this video. So, power comes in here. This is a hot leg, this is a hot leg. 110, 110 makes 220. This is the neutral over here. We mark it like that with the white tape because on the outside of the panel, see there's another piece of white tape up there. You need to know which wire is which when you pull it in here. You don't need to know these two, it doesn't matter, but you need to know which one's the neutral, so that's why they get marked. Inside of here, we look for certain things. It's grounded. You make a note of the size of the main breaker. There's some information on the panel too, right here. I always just look at the main breaker, and I take a picture of that and I put it in my panel, in my report. We look for corrosion inside of here. It's not uncommon for water to come in around the service entry cable. This is called the service entry cable. It goes into the meter on the outside. And if it's not sealed where it comes through the side of the building, water can follow that wire in and drip inside of here and cause trouble, including rust. So you want to look for that. Probably the biggest thing a home inspector will run into here as far as defects is multiple wires on one breaker that are not designed for that. So each one of these breakers is just supposed to have one wire attached to it, one circuit attached to it, okay? Unless it's designed for that. Some of these breakers will have 2 screws on them. These just have 1. So none of these are what they call double lugged. We don't have 2 wires on any of the breakers. The other thing I'd look for is, put my screwdriver away, is melted wire. If a circuit's overloaded, you might get a little melting of the insulation, right, and it's always right here, close to the breaker, it seems like. So we don't have any of that. Another issue you may run into is no Noalox gel or antioxidant gel on the lugs. So this is actually copper wire coming in here. And these are aluminum lugs here. So I did put some Noalox gel on there. I know it's hard to see. But if you don't have that gel on there, you can get electrolysis, oxidation on the lugs. I've been doing inspections for 24 years, and like I said, I was an apprentice electrician. Here's how I handle it. If there's no Noalox gel on the lugs and it's not corroded, I do not put it in my report. If it is corroded, whether it has gel on it or not, it does go in the report. So that's how I've always handled it, never had a problem. Here in the Detroit area, we put, this is a block foundation in a basement, so we always put a wood piece of plywood behind the panel and put the panel on top of the plywood. It's just kind of standard practice around here, but it's good practice. They're not all like that, but it's a good practice. It's not something I put in a report if it's not on there. So everything looks good in here. So These are all the individual circuits, if I didn't mention that anymore. Here's where the main power comes in. Neutral bar, neutral bar. Neutrals are typically white. The grounds are typically bare or green, and the hots are typically black. So that's it. We put the cover back on. Hook the tabs on at the top. Once you get 2 screws in there, no matter what holes you put them in, the top, one at the top, one at the bottom, that cover's not going to go anywhere. And then you can put the rest in. And that's it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. People are afraid of the panels. I was afraid of them too before I became an electrician. I never got licensed as an electrician, I just was an apprentice. But that's it, that's pretty easy. So that's the standard of practice. That's all an inspector has to do. I'm just going to tighten these screws down, and that's it. Thanks.